Good evening everyone, it is 8:05 CET and we are getting ready for the Monaco Grand Prix FRL Tier 1 Season 3. Welcome into the stream. 19 drivers on the grid today. We don't know if anyone's going to come in during qualifying at all, but some drivers making their return. Well, most drivers making their return. Simply's back on the grid. Flip Flop Fish is also back on the grid. He was here last week, wasn't he? Yeah, he was in the Haas. Speaking of the Haas, Gil really needs to have a good performance this race to get back in the championship challenge, as he's slipping now to Yost and almost falling into the clutches of now VRT Jordan. I believe it was him that took the victory last week. He moved up into 5th in the standings. He's 86 points behind his teammate, well, 86.5. who is leading the championship by a stunning 23.5, but anything can happen at the Monaco Grand Prix. We are racing here at night time, I believe. I'm not too sure about qualifying. Let's have a quick rundown of the championship standings. So IGK Yost with 162.5 points leads the way, then Gil's in second with 139. A long way back, Ginger is in third with 103. Then it's Crockett with 89 points. In 4th, 5th place goes to VRT Jordan on 89, and then it is Max, who has not made it for the past couple of races, and he's not made it again today from what I can see here. So this is bad for his championship challenge. A lack of points. He's had 3 podiums this season, has Max, and he was doing pretty well, but I guess he's just not turned up. We're just going to turn on all of these. This track is very difficult. Should be in the 109s, 108s for qualifying, really. I'd be surprised if anyone even got into the 107, but you know what? It's possible. Who is going to be the first one out? It looks to be a Ferrari, so is that Geordie or is it Flip Flop? It looks to be like Geordie is the first one coming out on track. Do fast lap, do fitted. He's going to be going on the softs, and is this Shap or is it Recon out next? It looks to be VRT Chapelele. Now 3 drivers from VRT on the grid today, those being Chapelele, Timon, and of course the newly signed VRT Jordan Polska, formerly known as ILRT Jordan, and of course Jordan_FTW. You can see there's a bit of a Ferrari front wing on track. I wonder if that is the front wing of Geordie. I'm not too sure. Someone's lost a bit of their front wing. Looks like Geordie's wing's intact. What about Chapelele? I didn't quite catch that, but he might be missing an end plate. No. Was it Ferrari, a Flip Flop? Yeah, he's lost a bit of his front wing. He's lost the front right end plate. Jeez. Let's go back on board with Geordie though, because he's going to be the first one to complete a lap, so we're just going to follow on his lap in its entirety. Is now coming through the final corner. He's going to open it up onto the start finish straight, opening up DRS. Be careful not to hit anyone emerging from the pits, and now he begins his lap down into Saint-Devant. He's breaking down into 3rd gear, getting on the power early, shifting up in the gears. Now through I forgot what this one was called, but now into Massenet, this long left-handed corner. Now through Casino Square, looks to be on a decent enough lap so far. He's going to go an 18.5 through the first sector, coming through Mirabeau, and now into the Lowe's hairpin, revving the car out in first, short shifting up to second. Through Portier he flies to one of the fastest parts of the track, and Aspect has already left the session. He's returned. He's not been here for the last couple of races, but I think he hit the wall and then he left the session or something. But now through one of the most notoriously difficult corners comes Geordie. That was the Nouvelle chicane. He sets at 51.9 through the second sector. Now he opens it up into the final sector through Rascat into the penultimate corner. He's actually going to pick up a little bit of a slipstream from, I believe, Yost, who's just beginning his lap. He's going to do a 109.7. That is the time to beat. It's Chapelele whose next finishes lap, but he invalidated that one, so I believe it was, I don't know who it was. It was Blue Racer, and he's going to do an 11.0. Not good enough from him. He wants to be higher up the grid. And Louis does also a 111.0. Flip Flop Fish does a 112.0. So no one's really on form with the times right now, as Jordan is not going to be able to beat out Geordie with that lap. And Ginger's immediately going to go to the top with a 109.7. Only a couple hundredths off, ahead of Geordie, so it's looking to be tight at the top. Polina Bros does a 109.8 on medium tyres, and now Timon is... Wow, that's a really good time from Timon, actually. Who's this next? It's looking to be Simply. Where's he going to go? He's going to go third fastest ahead of Geordie, behind Ginger on the second row of the grid. And it's the Red Bull of, I think, Recon to cross the line. He goes quickest with a 108.7. So he's the first one to dip into the 108s. Very, very strong time from him. Crockett Gamer also did a pretty strong lap, and I believe this is Yost crossing the line. And it looks like he invalidated his first lap. There's a McLaren of either Blue, I think it's Blue Racer coming into the pits. I'll keep on board with Yost on this lap unless we see someone coming around to finish their lap. Looks like a Racing Point is doing so right now. Is this Alan Vore? It is Alan Vore. He's going to go fourth fastest. Okay. Doesn't look like anyone is coming after him, but we'll keep an eye on that, as through tunnel comes Yost, the championship leader. How much quicker is he even going to beat Recon's time? It was a pretty decent time, locking up into the Nouvelle Chicane, as I believe that was Ploesenbol crossing the line to go 12 fastest with a 110.8. Not a terrible time, but he definitely wants to be quicker than that. As now through the swimming pool chicane into Raskas comes Yost. I'm not sure if he's still pushing on that. It looks like he is, because he's using up all the ERS he can. And now through the start finish straight, where's he going to go? He's going to go only fourth fastest. And now Bjorn has also joined the session. This is going to be his debut race in FRL Season 3, formerly known as the Good Guy 75, but then he joined LR Racing. There's no other LR drivers in this league, actually, which is strange to see, to be honest, as now the first wave of laps have finished. Is Giel on a lap? No. Ploesen's probably on an in lap. Yeah. I think that is the first wave of laps done, so only a couple drivers didn't set a lap. Never mind, Chapelele's just started a lap. He's got a little bit of a tow from Flip Flop Fish. Is he going to do a good job to get out of the way? He is on an out lap, so he is obliged to move out of the way of Chapelele. As now, yes, he does that. Into Mirabeau comes Chapelele, not purple through the first sector, but not a terrible time at all, as I believe that there is a Haas who's just lost it. Was that Gil? Yeah, he looks to be going very, very slow. Gil's... he's not been on form lately. He had a pretty tough race in Bahrain. I believe he retired from the race, actually, after a lap 1 incident with his teammate, who was Flip Flop Fish, but now he has come in the Ferrari, so he's moved teams. He's only a reserve, and Shap's invalidated again. Oh, that's a heartbreaking. That's heartbreaking from him there. He would have been in the top 10 at least, because he set a similar time to Geordie F1 through the second sector, who's in 9th place right now. Very good from Geordie, actually. He had a very, very good race last time out in Bahrain, going from 20th position all the way up into 5th, almost in the podium. He just executed the mediums to hard strategy. No, it was not mediums to hard. It was hard to softs, and he went very, very long in the race, pitting on around lap 20 and going all the way to the end on his tyres. So right now, Recon is leading the session with Timon in second. Third place is Crockett Gamer. We're watching right now Jordan. He's just gone purple through the first sector. Only 300ths up though, so that leads me to believe he made a pretty big error somewhere later in the lap. He's pushing through Portier now. He's going to pick up the toe of a McLaren. Is that Blue Racer? Or is that Polino? I think it's Blue, because Blue is the only McLaren out on track. He is also on a lap, so he does not have to get out of the way of Jordan. He's just hoping to keep it ahead. And he looks to be 7/10 up. That's pretty good from him, actually. Where's that going to put his car? I believe that's only going to go 12th. As he is going to be the next one to cross the line, other than Flip Flop, who goes 12th fastest with a 109.9, a much better lap from him. He's going to go second faster, is Blue Racer, and now Jordan goes third fastest, displacing Croquette Gamer, making his way onto the second row of the grid. That's very strong from him, as now I think Alan's just started a lap. I thought he was finishing one. Who is this Renault coming up next? I think it's Croquette Gamer. He's only a couple 100s slower, but he could be up on this time. He's going to cross the line. He improves, but not by enough to beat Jordan to retake the position that he stole from him. Yost has just gone 5th fastest. Good from him there. Who is next? Is this is an Alfa Romeo. Ginger, he was invalidated. His lap was not good enough from him. Is this Chapelele? No, it's Recon on a lap right now. He goes even quicker, it seems. He backed off. He was quicker through the second sector, but he backed off of his lap completely, as now his teammate Chapelele is just about to start a lap. Where's Michelizzi? Or Michelizzi's not started this lap session off to a good on the right foot. I'm sorry for my blunders because I'm just so excited. I've been pretty quiet in the league racing scene. Pretty slow week for me. It's just been so long. Let me know how all your weeks have gone. Belino Bros starting another lap, just coming out ahead of Ploazin in the Renault. Who is next to cross on? It looks to be the Racing Point of Timon. Alan Vore went second fastest. That's really good from him, actually. Timon was quicker on his lap time, but he invalidated, which is not good. Very bad, actually. See, that's my only expression, that seems. I do apologise, but this is Shap. Is it crossing the line? It is, and he's gone quickest through the middle sector, and he's about to come through the final corner. I'm going to try and remember what that one's called, because it definitely does have a name like every corner. He's going to cross the line, go third fastest, and now it is a Red Bull Racing Point. 1, 2, 3, 4 lockout. Only 2 drivers have made it into the 108s, those being Recon and Alanvor. The Williams seem to not be on the pace today. The championship leader, what the hell? You see the shadows. The championship leader not being in a high enough position to get good points. Qualifying is crucial here. Oh, he hits the wall, but he goes quicker still through the first sector. I could have jumped the gun by saying that they are not on pace, but he is still hitting the wall, locking up through Raskas, and that was a fatal error for him. He's going to pull into the pits despite being purple through the second sector. Who is the next one to cross the line? Where's Michelizzi? Michelizzi's one of the only drivers to not set a lap. The other one being Nexus Aspect, and I will read the tweet, I will read the comments out very quickly. It's not on my channel. I keep forgetting that it's not on my channel anymore. I stream it onto here, onto the FRL channel itself, but I seem to not be able to find the stream. Okay, I've got it. Okay, Yost is saying rain race. That is a very, very... Oh my goodness. So that is going to throw a spanner in the works, and that is probably why everyone is out on soft, because you're just going to be starting on intermediate tyres. WSO Simply, who's not at the best of luck this season, getting taken out in Britain, has now made his way onto 6th place with a 109.2 on the mark. That is very satisfying to look at. Where's Michelizzi? We're going to follow his lap, I think. Michelizzi currently coming through Raskas. This could be a good time from him. The track has been rubbered in. We have 4 minutes left in the session. What's his time going to be? He's going to go purple through the second sector. This could be very, very strong from him. Could Michelizzi be on pole? And in the red, oh, huge lock up into Raskas, not gonna help his lap time one bit. As now along the start finish straight, is he gonna go quickest? He's gonna go 14th fastest. That was a bit underwhelming, as I believe Geordie has just made his way into 8th position, track position. The crucial factor on this circuit is Terror Race is gonna pull into the pits, so that means the next one to cross the line is Simply, who's also pulled into the pits, which means Jordan, who is on an out lap, will be the next one to cross the line. There's a Racing Point and a Williams of Yost. The other Racing Point, I believe, is Alanvor, and the other one of Time, and they're both filing out all together. Some of the quickest drivers on this grid all coming out at once. Jordan begins his lap. Hopefully he won't run into the back of Alanvor, Timon or Yost on his outlap, but of course Yost will 100% get out of his way as soon as possible. But whilst they're bringing up their tyres, he's just going to hope to not lose anything. He goes purple through the first sector, now into the Lowe's hairpin comes VRT Jordan Polska. That is very weird to say. I just got used to saying ILRT Jordan, but look what he's done to me. He's left and he's joined VRT. Good choice for him. VRT, they had a bit of a rough patch, but they seem to be picking up very, very talented drivers like Timon, like Jordan. And oh, he's invalidated that. That is crucial for him, but he's luckily done that in a place where he can recharge his battery pretty quickly. If it was in the third sector, then that would have been very dismal for him. This is Recon on an outlap right now, so we are probably not going to follow on many more laps as we get into the dying stage of qualifying, as we are getting a lot of viewers. We have 7 viewers. Welcome in, everyone. Hope you are enjoying it. And I'm actually gonna get up a track map of Monaco just so I can see. That was close from Recon, almost hitting in plane into the back of Crockett Gamer's car. Yellow flags through here. It is Timon being let through. He went purple through the first sector. Can he be the one to jump Recon, who's leading it right now? And I think that either Jordan or Yost has spun the car down at the Nouvelle Chicane, and that's going to impede on a lot of drivers who I think are on an outlap, so that's not too bad for them. It could have been Louis though on a fast lap. It wasn't Louis. Okay, so the next one to cross the line is Alan Vore, and he's invalidated this lap, so he's going to be pushing hard on this one. VRT Timon goes quick, second fastest, but he's still 2/10 off of Recon, who's currently 5 seconds down, so he is not pushed on this lap very hard. He's cutting the corners, is now crossing the line. This is Flip-Flop starting the lap. Who is next then? Is it Simply? It's not Simply. It is a Mercedes. Okay, Mercedes of Michelizzi starting the lap. I don't believe there is another Mercedes in the lobby. Recon's going to retire on track. No, he's coming to the pits to do that. Very smart, as what you should do is now. I don't know who to follow. This is Geordie starting a lap. No one's really finishing a lap at the moment. I believe that is the Renault of Crockett Gamer who will be the next one to finish a lap, as we watch him fly through the first set. No, it's Ploersen then. Ginger retires in the pits. Ploersen is the next one to cross the line then, because the Racing Point ahead of him is not on a push lap. Alan's going to have to settle for third position for now, as now across the line comes Ploersen Bull. Is he going to go quickest? No. He didn't even improve on his position. Not good enough from him. This is Flip-Flop Fish next across the line. He invalidated his time, but just lucky enough for him, he is able to start a lap once more, as now we are about to cross into dead zone time. No one can start a lap. Michelizzi gonna go 12 fastest. This is the Williams of Jordan. He's gonna take second row of the grid. First row of the grid, demoting Timon down to the second row. Crockett again can't improve on his position. Geordie's going to retire in the pits. So who is next to cross the line? I believe it is Chapelele. He has gone quickest through the second sector. Where is he going to put that Red Bull car? Can he match his teammate? Could it be a Red Bull 1-2 lockout? He's going to go second fastest. So yes, he is going to maybe make the lockout work here. Gill all the way down in 13th. He's not been on the pace at all. Who's next? I believe it is Timon coming into the pits. So it should be Simply to cross the line next. And oh no, 5th place grid penalty for Pluizen for colliding with Flip Flop Fish. So that's going to put him all the way to last place. Flip Flop retires on track in a pretty precarious position there. I'm not sure if he's allowed to do that. Simply's going to pull into the pits. So it is Michelizzi next, but he is in that Mercedes who just keeps going around. I don't know why they do that, but I think this is what our grid looks like. It is a Red Bull front row lockout. No one else is on a lap. There's a Renault pretty slow there. I think that's Pluizen's car. It's retired on track. So that is your grid for today. TTG Recon 33 taking pole position by just about a 10th. He set his time right at the beginning of the session and no one could touch it. That was a really strong lap from him, as now the session is fully over. We were just watching that Mercedes of Michelizzi in his favourite position to qualify, P12. I see him in that, just on the cusp of the top 10. Most of the time he's never at the back, but he's never really at the front anymore, which is not what he wants to see. Interestingly enough, Polino Bros didn't go on a set of softs. He could have been in a much better position, and now the McLarens are in 14th and 15th. So this is your grid for tomorrow. The 2 Red Bulls lock out the front row. They are Recon and Chapelele. Jordan is going to go 3rd. 4th and 5th for Timon and Alan Vore. Crockett's going to go 6th, 7th for Simply. Then Geordie in 8th and 9th for Yost. Not a good position for him. And Terror is going to round out the top 10, beating his teammate. That is very strong from Terror Racer. He could have the pace today. He could be in a very strong point scoring position. But now we move on to the race. And this is not going to be pretty, as it is going to be wet. Yes, that is right. Wet race. I'm not too sure about... I'm not too sure if it's going to dry up at any point. I'll be back in just one moment. So it looks to be intermediate tyres fitted for Recon Chapelele. Everyone is on intermediate tyres, it seems. That could be a sign of the track drying up eventually. Someone who missed qualifying, starting right at the back, the other Mercedes. Nizzo seemed to not have turned up this weekend. And now neither Mercedes starts in the top 10. They've not had a good season at all. Nizzo has just not been on the pace. He's not gotten many points at all. Hopefully for Bjorn, he can move up the field and secure the bag for them today. If anyone overtakes in this, I will be pretty shocked, to say the very least. Oh, this is the chicane is not going to be pretty. That's all I'm going to say. It will not be a good time. Let's have a look at the constructors' standings for now. Williams absolutely dominating right now. They are on 238.5 points. 81 points back from them is Haas. And then Alfa Romeo sits in third place, those being Ginger and Terra Racer. Alan Vore and Timon didn't have the strongest start to the season, not scoring points until Russia, but then they've really started to pick up the pace, taking podiums for the last 2 Grand Prix in Japan and Bahrain. We are actually coming up to the tail end of the season. 7, 8, 9 races to go. We finish in Italy, so that means we are over halfway. But yeah, previously mentioned Mercedes really being carried by Michalizzi. 64 points for them. They're not too far behind McLaren though. McLaren haven't had the greatest season either. As now they line up on the grid. Soon we will get underway for a wet start here in... Wait, if we could change the camera angle please. I don't want this. Okay, yes, so the lights are on and it is lights out and away we go. Who looks to get the better start? It looks to be the Red Bull on the outsiders. Recon seem to have bogged down. Now coming into turn 1, who is going to get the better? Oh, you can see there's a lot of contact back up behind us now. Chapelele drives into the distance. Following him is Jordan, then Timon. So it's a VRT 1, 2, 3. Simply is in P4. Alan Vore in 5th. Recon dropped all the way into 6th position. But it looks to be a clean start from everyone. There seems to be no yellow flags. But now we fly through to the end of the first sector into the Lowe's hairpin. This is not going to be pretty one bit. As there's a spinning Ferrari, and I think that is Geordie being spun around. Everyone's having to go through him. Geordie has been spun around. The virtual safety car is out, and you can see loads of time penalties coming out. Flip Flop Fish took one. Geordie took one. Plumas and Ball's taken one. That is carnage. Down at the hairpin, Flip Flop Fish is letting everyone go through. It looks like Geordie just maybe broke a bit too early, but everyone just piled into the back of it. No one even predicted it. It's now Chapelele followed by Jordan. They are soon to complete the first lap. Ginger's jumped his teammate. He's made his way into the top 10. Let's have a look at position change. You can see Polino Bros has had one of the best starts out of anyone. He's actually had the best start. He's now up into 10th position. That is a points paying position. Soon we are going to get underway and we are going to go now. So we're on board with the McLaren driver. Oh, Ginger's run a bit deeper into Ratcast. That is not going to help him. They are going to come into the pits. They might have taken some damage and all of that. Carnage there. Chapelele's already got a 1.1 second gap back to Jordan. Is now yellow flags come out once more. I think that was Plurzen spinning out there, but we are not going to look at it now as he is. Okay, yeah, we are going to look at it. He's facing the wrong way, and he's lost half of his front wing. You can see he has got no front wing at the left side. Oh, this is bad for Geordie. He's had to wait for his teammate, who also came into the pits. So disaster for the Ferrari drivers and disaster for Renault. I say that though, Crockett Gamers in 7th position. I believe he's held on to where he started. He's currently chasing down Recon, who had a terrible start. He does not seem to be suited to the wet conditions. He's now chasing down Alan Vore. Can he send it? Doesn't look like it. Yellow flags through the second sector, but I think that is everyone just piling into the Lowe's hairpin. Simply is going to take a 3-second time penalty for corner cutting on lap 2. So that is pretty shocking to say the very least. As now Timon catching up to the back of Jordan. He's reeled it into about a second, but then Simply is also caught up to the back of Timon. So this looks to be a very, very interesting battle for second position. The second highest points paying position being 18 points. This could be huge for Simply, who's not gotten off the mark well in his campaign. As now lots of time penalties come out. Ginger's going to take a time penalty for corner cutting. That's not good from him. He's down in 16th position. His woes continue as he's not scored a point for a long time. As now Terra Racer, Blue Racer and Michalizzi all fired into the pits. So they must have taken damage somewhere on lap number 2. We are following behind on board with WSO_Simply, who's got a pretty strong gap actually back to Alan Vore. Alan Vore seems to be struggling at the moment. He's got a train of cars behind him, those being Recon, Crockett and Yost, all very quick drivers. Championship leader Yost being one of them. He doesn't like this track too much, but this, oh, good from Gil today. He's kept out the carnage, and now hopefully for him, he can pick up more points in this fight and bring it back. Simply's lagged out the session. No, Simply's lagged out, so that's going to allow Alan Vore to easily get up into 4th position, and that's going to hamper him so much because there's a massive train of cars right behind him. Lap 3 of 39, one of the actually this is the longest race in terms of lap counts on the calendar, but interestingly enough, this isn't the shortest circuit. It takes about 1 minute 12 seconds to complete a lap in dry conditions. Alan Vore now into the 4th place. Very, very good race from the Racing Point cars so far. Chapelele's really run away with it today though. He's now 2 seconds ahead, and now all yellow flags in sector 3. Who is that for? Looking on the mini-map, it doesn't look like anyone has spun the car, so to say. We'll go back on board with the Geordie. Oh, Geordie's not even in that fight. We're back on board with Flip Flop Fish. No one has spun, and I believe Jordan just took a 3-second time penalty for corner cutting. We're on lap 4, and you can already see how spread out the field is. Bjorn's had a really good start. He's in, it's his debut race in FRL, I believe, from all times. He's almost in the points. Nexus Aspect on his returning race is just ahead of him. Louis is also in a points paying position, so that's going to help him so much. These guys all started way back, but they just kept their noses clean, as now Joost gets past the ghost of Simply, but he also takes a 3-second time penalty in doing so. Gil's already lost a lot of time to Joost, which makes me think, has he got damage on that car? No, it doesn't look like it, but this is the track that you do not want to get damage on, as I believe Pelino Bros and Flip Flop have had a little bit of a coming together. Michalitzi's had to go off the track there. Gil's going to set the fastest lap of the Grand Prix, so that basically confirms he does not have any damage whatsoever. He's pulling up 5 seconds behind WSO Simply. Sometimes I wish I did have another commentator, because it's lap 5 of 39 and my voice is already a little bit tickly. I feel like coughing, but I'm gonna try to keep it in. Alan Vore still fending off the Red Bull challenge from Recon, trying to maintain 4th position. Crockett Game is also just keeping watch, and Jordan's going to take another time penalty. Recon hits the wall there, and he's had to go straight across the track. That's going to have to pull him into the pits. He's gone into AI mode, and that's going to hold up Crockett a lot as well. Recon's not pulled into the pits despite taking significant damage to his front wing, as now can Crockett get past Recon? He's still in AI mode. I'm not sure if he's allowed to do this. It's basically denied Crockett the pass. Through up the hill they come. Joost has caught up to them so much, he's going to duck to the outside of the Red Bull, and now yellow flags. I think Recon has been spun around, but he's going very slow. I'm not too sure what he's doing, as oh no, Gil just goes right into the back of him. What is Recon doing here? As spinning around in turn 1. A little bit of a touch from Aspect. What is Recon doing? Go on board with PMP Louis here, because he's just coming up to the back of the Red Bull driver. He was on pole this weekend, but he's still in AI. What's he doing? His AI is crawling around the track. It's so slow at the moment, and that's holding up these guys. Recon's left the session now. I don't know what the hell he was doing with all of that. The maestro in the wet conditions. Chapelele's got 3 seconds already from Jordan. That is incredible considering Jordan's pace. He's one of the top drivers in this league, and Timon gets past him with ease into turn number 1. Aspect and Bjorn having a battle, I believe. So we'll follow on board with that. I if I can get to them. There we go. Doesn't look like Bjorn put in much of a challenge, though, as now Louis gets past the ghost of Recon, and so does Aspect. Should be an easy job for Bjorn here. Was that Lightning that I saw? Lightning in F1 2019. Now the safety car is out. Who for? What? It's a spontaneous safety car to bring everyone closer together, and that's going to cause some activity down at the pit. Ginger's going to come in. Recon's also come back in. Blue Racer takes a drive-through penalty for speeding on the safety car. So easy to do. The Delta just does not help anyone at all. Oh, okay. I do apologise for saying that stuff to you, Recon, about you. Like, oh, what is he doing? But Recon's wheel has broken. That is so heartbreaking to hear. He was in a pretty strong position, but I believe his race is now officially over. With the safety car out, drivers who had fallen far behind after lap 1, those being one being Ginger, the other being Flip Flop, and another being Geordie. Also Terra. I didn't notice Terra pulled into the pits actually. Maybe I did, I'd just forgotten about it. He's also had a nightmarish start. So has Pluisenbulb, spinning around the wrong way at Raskas. Now he's going to have another chance to get closer to the field. But of course, it is not going to be easy, and oh my goodness. Never mind. He's been disqualified from the session. I don't know what happened there. He said he was ignoring yellow flags. Great. The safety car has collected Chapelele and Timon. That is actually really satisfying to see on the timing tower. You can see VRT, VRT, VRT. Maybe we should just make this a VRT grid. Jordan takes another time penalties. I've seen him take quite a lot actually. Where's Pluizen? Is he still going? I'm sorry, he's got disqualified. Was that a glitch on my part? What? So he hasn't been disqualified. Hang on, I have to go back on the stream here. I swear it said he got disqualified. I'm watching this right now just to see. It definitely said disqualified from session, ignoring yellow flags. What's that? Codemasters, please, you can see the grid is still so spread out, so that means we're going to have a couple more laps on the safety car. I don't know why that's happened. I was convinced that Pluizen was just disqualified from the race entirely. But it appears not. Surprisingly, we have no retirements right now. Gonna have a look at Jamie's stream just to see how tier 2's doing. Oh goodness, they're about to finish their race, to be fair, but they've had so many DNFs. Finley's leading the Grand Prix. What? Oh my goodness, safety car is going to stay out once more. They're having a dry race. I'd want a dry race, because they're more exciting. But you know what? This hasn't been all bad. There's been some pretty interesting battles. Sometimes, I guess. But you know what? Maybe after the safety car, things will improve. Let's have a look at strategies. You can see the top 6 all on the same set of intermediate tyres they started on. These can go to the end, I believe. They can go all the way in this Grand Prix. I swear I can see lightning. Oh, that's just people taking pictures. I have no clue, to be honest. Definitely the wets can. They have much deeper treading. That's how they get the grip that they do in the wet conditions, but in the dry, they're not going to be able to go quick enough at all. You just slide around with the treading on the tyres. They are made for wet. You can see the difference between the dry tyres and the wet tyres. If you actually look on the tyres right now, there's little ripples in them. That's the treading that is given to the tyres, so they get more grip in the wet. But the dry tyres are all slick. See, I'm running out of things to talk about because there's nothing really to talk about at the moment. Gior and Simply are on 2-lap holds and now Inter's safety car is coming in this lap, so Ball has to be quick to catch up to the field because he is in the tunnel. Should be easily able to catch up to Recon, who is slowing up so much it's killing everyone behind his momentum. That's why you retire in the pits and not just quit. Ginger's gonna go past him. They're catching up to the back of Michalizzi. Let's go to the front. Do we see on board? Well, not on board anymore, but they are going to restart the race on lap number 10. We have just about 20 laps to go in this Grand Prix. Just a bit less actually, is now Timon losing the back end through turn number 1. Bjorn takes a 3-second time penalty for exceeding track limits. Where is that battle on track? There's battles everywhere, they're all really close to each other. Let's follow Crockett and Allenville because that seems to be the closest gap at the time, but it doesn't look like there's any moves being made there. What about this? No. Doesn't look like anything's happening to me, for me. Flip-flop, yeah, I thought it was a battle, but no, it was just flip-flop. Getting past the stricken for Red Bull driver of Recon. Allenville's kind of losing touch to the top 3. Jordan is losing touch with the top 2 at the moment, as this seems to be not Jordan's type of weather track combination. Monaco in the wet is probably the most challenging circumstance aside from full wets. As opposed to intermediates, but from what the rain has been doing for now, it does not look like it is going to be holding up at all for the remainder of this race. We could be on the intermediate tyres for the entirety of the race, but now at this point the drivers could probably go onto the mediums if it dried up in the next few laps or so. I said that we had 20 laps to go. We actually have less than 20. Wait, we actually have more than 20 laps to go. We have about 30 laps to go. So strap in because we are just about a quarter of the race done. Woohoo! I do really wish I had someone else to commentate with me sometimes, as now Pilina Bros trying to get past his teammate. Slicked it, stamped it, send it up into Mirabeau. And he makes the move sticks. That is not Mirabeau. That is Mirabeau, yeah. So Crockett Gamer gets past Allenville through Portier. So Allenville has been overtaken by the Renault car, and he should be falling into the clutches of the Williams. Oh, Allen's gone into AI mode. Is Yost going to send up the inside? Doesn't look like it. But Allenville with a really bad exit, actually making contact with the Williams as Allenville's been spun around. He got on the power too early and he got in the way of Giel, so that's going to hold him up just slightly. But now he's all out of shape. You can see he's losing the back end everywhere he goes. Recon now falls into last position, so he shouldn't get in the way of anyone else. And he actually got he actually gave Ginger a time penalty. Ginger's in 14th. There's now Allenville goes into the wall at Raskas, and what's he doing? Oh, he's trying to go into the pits, but it looks, oh my goodness, there's been an incident there between Aspect and Allenville, so carnage down at the final corner. Geordie is trying to get past Aspect, who's been spun around. Oh, and Alan Vore just breaks so soon there. And Geordie's woes continue as now he's lost his front part of his front wing. Look at the gap between Bjorn and Gil. That is 6, 8, 9 seconds between them two. As Alan Vore just gets in the way of everyone. He's lost the plot, has the racing point, but now with that virtual safety car ending, he's had time to get back on his feet, but he's still in AI mode. Please just get out of AI mode. Aspect's gonna go up the inside. Geordie's put it in neutral, and Alan Vore is just slowing everyone up here. Is he just purposely doing this, or is he staying in AI mode or something? He's just in AI mode. You shouldn't be able to do this. I don't know what's going on his end, but you just need to get off the track. And he's braking through the tunnel. What the hell? He's lost connection now, so Pluisen's just had enough of waiting behind him. He's going to send up the inside. All of this has allowed Recon to actually get past Terra and Blue, as now he leaves the session. Looks like he's had lag issues, which kicked him out. So I guess it's not really his fault, but like, you know, what the heck. It was jumping in and out, in and out, in and out. Let's have a look at this latest comment. This is on Jamie's stream. Okay. Nolan says, yo, hello Nolan, welcome into the stream. How's it going? This pretty boring race on my end. But we just had a bit of carnage there, so that was fun, I suppose. As the gaps have really begun to spread out. Bjorn and Polino in a pretty intense battle right now, lagging all over the place though. Is this my internet? I truly hope not, because if I lose the stream, and now Polino has been spun around. Michelizi's going to get past him, he's going to reverse onto track, and he takes a time penalty for that. For some reason, he rejoins in 12th position, just ahead of PMP Louis, who's going to try and overtake him through to back. Normally you wouldn't break for that, but Smoking Bandits join the session. Welcome in, Caesar. And Gil sets the fastest lap of the Grand Prix. He's got the pace, he's just not had the luck, has he? That is true, as I believe that them two joining actually signals the end of the F2 race. Okay. Who would have thought turning dynamic weather on a Monaco was a bad idea? Was a good idea. They should have just put it on clear. We would have been on like lap 21 at this point, and we would have been almost finished with this race, as now soon we are actually going to come up to 20 laps to go, where I was wrong last time. We're almost at the halfway point of this Grand Prix. Hopefully it picks up, hopefully it gets interesting, as now simply clips the corner, which is so easy to do. Gil takes a 3-second time penalty, trying to avoid that. And I caught that perfectly. But, oh, there's 12 seconds for him, between him and Bjorn, who's started from last position. Is he doing a Geordie here? That'd be pretty cool, actually. Timon sets the fastest lap of the Grand Prix, so it looks like, could the track be drying up slightly? I guess the rain is starting to look a little less heavy, but when they come on for slick tyres, I'll be very happy. We're watching the battle for 8th position between LR Bjorn 75 and the Ginger 21, as now Ginger's going to try and go up the inside. Oh, seems like the door was not open for him. Double points for Mercedes. They don't have that often, as now Bjorn lets Ginger go through clearly quicker, it seems, from the Alfa Romeo, who sits in 3rd place in the standings, and he's not scored points for a while, so this is definitely helping him out a lot, as now Michelizi's trying to get to his teammate here. Seems to be going at a decent pace, it seems. He's put it in neutral, which is not what you want to do, but it sounds cool when you go out of neutral. And this is one of the only gaps on track that is sub 1 second as Bjorn lets his teammate go through. Has he got wing damage on that Mercedes car? Looking right now, yeah, he's lost an M plate. So he hit a wall somewhere. Yost takes a time penalty. Oh, this helicopter shot actually shows how much rain is passing by. So it doesn't look like we're going to get dry racing soon. Hopefully that can clear up as soon. We are going to come on to the start of the halfway point. Chapelele right now. Setting the fastest lap of the Grand Prix, going quicker than his time previously. Doesn't look like it through here. I'm commentating over this like it is a flipping like it is a goddamn, I don't know, yellow flags through sector 2. I don't know who that's for. We're watching Croquette Gamer trying to battle with VRT Jordan, the newest acquisition for the Vortex Racing team. Very, very strong signing from them. ILRT losing one of their quickest drivers. I think Jordan is AOR F2 or PSGL F2. No, he's probably PSGL F1 pace as he cuts the chicane and he's let Croquette go here. Could this be one of the only Grand Prix we don't see a Williams on the podium? I'm actually going to have a look at that right now. See, when was the last time there was no Williams on the podium? Because they've just dominated this season. Let's have a look. Last time there was... Okay, it wasn't actually that long ago. Last time there was no Williams on the podium was in Canada. Last time they scored no points was all the way back in UAE. Started with Abu Dhabi. Was it Yost comes into the pit, so it looks like the tyres are running out of life for the top guys, so maybe they couldn't go all the way to the end. About half of the race has been completed now, just about actually. Once we get on lap number 19, when we're about halfway through there, then it will be the official halfway point in the Grand Prix. Coming up to about 20 laps to go. You know what? I'm sorry for what I've said about this race. It's not been all bad. Flip-flop sets the fastest lap. This is a pretty strong battle going on. For 12th place right now, PMP Louis, actually it's for 11th. PMP Louis is tracking down Nexus Aspect. This is a train forming. Plewers and Bull sitting at the tail of it. Yellow flag through sector 2. Who's that for? Doesn't seem like there's anyone stopped on track at all. Anyone going to make any overtakes into the Nova chicane? Plewers and Bull going to the back of Polino Bros. Doesn't look like he took any damage though. And now I think the yellow flags are down here at the chicane. Don't know where they're appearing actually. There's no yellow flags on my map. Was it flip-flop? He's closing in on the back of this train. Bjorn taking a 3-second time penalty. Seems to be a recurring theme for a lot of drivers. Can really shake up the order at the end of the race, as now Chapelele is coming through the Nova chicane, going around the outside of Polino Bros through Raskas. Goes Pluizen. That was a pretty strong move, but it looks like Polino Bros pulls into the pits, so he could have been going slower than he was. Flip-flop Fish is caught right up to the back of this train here as he sets the fastest lap. He is flying on his intermediate tyres, which are much fresher than Louis and Pluizen's right now. He's gone board with the Ferrari driver wearing his Make America Great Again hat. He sent a selfie into the Discord chat earlier today, and it was a beautiful sight to behold. It truly was. He's rapid right now compared to Pluizen and Louis, who are a pretty long way back from their nearest competitor up ahead, that being IGK Yost, who's come into the pits to fit another set of intermediate tyres, hoping to go to the end, which he should be able to do pretty easily. The question on my mind though is Chapelele, Timon, Crockett, all those guys who have been on these tyres for 19 laps. Are they going to pit eventually? Yost taking a 3-second time penalty. This battle's still raging on for 11th position between Pluizen and Flip Flop, but I say raging on. Micheletti pulls into the pits. He's going to try to send it up the inside of Raskas, but he doesn't make any overtake through there. Very audacious move. We saw what happened to Charles Leclerc in real life. He clipped the inside wall, spinning out. Everyone thought it was Hulkenberg's fault, but no, Hulkenberg didn't even touch him. Rear tyres are deadly at this circuit. They can catch you out and spin you around. It is terrible when it happens to you, but it's incredible when it happens to someone else that's trying to send it up the inside at Massenet. Very... No, you can't overtake through there, even though it seems like you could. Micheletti pulling into the pits puts Pluizen in a points-paying position as Flip Flop is going to try send one up the inside. He's so impatient to get past the Renault driver who's ghosted now. Oh, he gets on the power a little bit too early there, and that kills his momentum coming out of the hairpin. So he's lost a bit of time compared to Pluizen Bull. Seems to be revving out the car as much as he can right now. Jordan's going to come to the pits, so surely that means that Crockett, Timon and Chap have to do it at some point. It's Flip Flop trying to cut the chicane after he saw Pluizen and Louis maybe come together. I didn't quite catch that. I was looking at the timing tower. Where's Jordan going to emerge? He's fitting his new tyres now. Is he going to come out ahead of his teammate? It looks to be that way. Was now through the start-finish straight they come. They've both fitted fresh tyres. Is he actually going to come out behind? No, he's going to come out ahead of Yost, who's not had the race today. He's not been on the pace to challenge for the lead. He's not even been in a podium position right now at this point. What I'm still interested to know is if that rain is going to clear up eventually. I think Flip Flop has made contact with Pluizen. We'll have a look at that Ferrari. He's going so slow up here. He's left the session. He's raged quit. And that is not going to be, he's not going to be happy with that one bit. And yeah, there's pretty much no battles going on right now except between Bjorn and Polino Bros fighting for 13th place. Simply pulls into the pits, and that is Unleashed Ginger into 5th position. Jordan's also made his way into 6th ahead of Simply, so Simply's going to drop back and he's come out in 8th position, a long way ahead of PMP Louis. Can Louis take his first points of the season? Pluizen's going to come into the pits in 10th position. That puts Micheletti back into a points paying position of 10th position, so that is only 1 point for him, but he can improve. You know what, it's not the end of the world. 1 point is better than no points. That's why you should always keep fighting, because you never know what happens, and we never know if this race is going to pick up in excitement. Lap 23 of 39. So we've got just about 17 laps to go in this Grand Prix. Round about half an hour to go. Simply doesn't clip the inside wall, even though it looked like he would. Is Chapelele going to come in this time? He doesn't look like it from here. Well, he can't go in from here because he's in the first sector. He's coming up to the Renault of Pluizen Bull, who's a lap down in 17th position after making contact with Flip Flop Fish in the first sector. As we have got another viewer. Very nice. Welcome into the stream. I'd love a safety car right now. I really would. I never say that, but yeah, I just want the race to be a little bit closer. It's locking up heavy as Chapelele on very worn intermediate tyres. 22 laps he's had them on since the very first lap. I don't know if they can go to the end, but on the wet tyres, you don't have to make a mandatory pit stop, so no one actually does have to come into the pits theoretically, but it is advised because, you know, you're just going to be off the pace quite a lot. And now Chaparral is going to pull into the pit lane. This rain is not easing up one bit. Time's also going to pull in. Does that mean Crockett's going to come to the pits as well? He's going to stay out and keep the lead of the Grand Prix. Once that's all done, over and done with, Gil will come out in P1 with 16 lap hold intermediate tyres. Unlikely that they'll go to the end, so you might have to make a pit stop sooner rather than later, as now Blue Race has retired from this session in the third sector. That is in the pit lane, so it does not look like any safety car will come out for that, because that would be stupid if he retires in the pit lane. Why would there be a safety car? Bjorn taking a time penalty. I missed two, took a time penalty. I was on the other side though. Is now simply sets the fastest lap of the race. He's in 8th position right now, 4 seconds back from IGK Yost, on board right now with IGK Gil. The IGK teammates are currently fighting for the championship, and if it stays like this, he won't be able to take the lead, but he'll definitely be able to close up by quite some margin. As now up the inside at Tabac. No, he doesn't make any moves. Stick there. As now yellow flags in sector 1 and 2. I don't know what's going on at the moment in terms of yellow flags, but now someone's lost it, and Terra's retired from the session in the pits as well. Okay, interesting. Crockett Game is going to stay out once more. Chaparral's already pulled the gap back to 5 seconds. This isn't a long pit straight though, and it's also starting before the corner, so it is not as short as not as long as it seems. 24 laps on these intermediate tyres. They must be screaming at Crockett to be changed. Ginger's going to pull into the pits. 17 lap holds intermediate tyres. They were coming to the end of their life. He's going to drop out of where is he? You know, he's going to drop out of 7th. He was in better position than that. I think he was in 5th place, but now that has been given to VRT Jordan. Soon to be P3 is now P&P Louis and Michelizzi get past him. He's going to emerge in 10th place. Flip-Flop is back in the session, so he's decided to rejoin. Still watching this battle between Gil and Crockett at the moment for the lead of the Grand Prix. Not too different in tyres in terms of life. They're both pretty old, and by being pretty old I mean very, very old. Crockett's spin on these tyres since the very start of the Grand Prix. Is he finally going to pull into the pits? Doesn't look like it. He's trying to stretch these intermediates for as long as he can. Okay. Nexus Aspect has been lapped now. He's in 17th position. Not been a good Grand Prix from him today. He's going to go to the end on a fresh set of intermediate tyres, emerging just ahead of, I believe, VRT Timon in 4th. Where's Alan? Oh yeah, Alan was in AI mode and he lagged out, and he's not. Has he rejoined? I think he has rejoined. Yeah, he's not shifting like an AI would, so that's good from him that he's rejoined. If I were Gil, I'd be very, very annoyed with Crockett here, because Crockett is really beginning to impede on him. Gil still has life in these tyres. Crockett does not. Lap 26 of the Monaco Grand Prix. Crockett Gamer still hasn't made his pit stop. Crossing the start-finish line they come. Chaparral sets the fastest lap of the Grand Prix. He's brought the gap down to 2.7 seconds between the leaders. That is not enough time for them to make a pit stop and emerge ahead of the Red Bull driver. So he's still in a positive leading position. He's 8.1 seconds ahead of VRT Timon. So he's really showing that he is the dominant car. But these two still haven't pitted for a very, very long time. That being 19 laps ago and since 26 laps ago. Crockett Game has not pitted once in this Grand Prix. Gil has before, as Chapelele's really closed this gap. He can see the two cars fighting ahead of him. He's pushing with overtake mode, dropping that down to 0. Hopefully he can keep his car out of the wall, not spin around, just keep it clean, keep it safe. He seems to be losing a little bit of time to Timon behind, but it does not seem to be affecting him, as he pulled out a lot of time on Gil and Crockett through there. And Crockett still staying out on these inters. Is he trying to go to the end? That would be suicide from him. But if he can do it, then that definitely means that Gil can, as now Bjorn comes out as a lapped car. He's had his fair share of incidences today. This train has been chewing along the tracks for a long time. Shap double lockup through the Nouvelle chicane, losing almost the back end there. You can hear the tyres squealing. He can go to the end on this. Is now, yeah, just coming around for 10 laps to go. So not too long in this race left remaining. We would have been finished around about now if it was wet, if it was dry. But only one safety car and 2 retirements. Actually pretty impressive, considering how difficult it is to drive at Monaco. Now yellow flags, and that is Bjorn retiring from the session. Got a new comment. Oh, that's lovely. Okay, I'll say hello. Penalties. I'm not going to show them, Ale. Or ale, I don't know how to say that, but I like to keep a bit of a surprise to see at the end of the Grand Prix. And at this point, it's certain that he's trying to go to the end. What is Ferrari doing? Is this Ferrari trying to overtake Chapelele and unlap himself? This is flip-flop, just casually unlapping himself, going right through Chap there, and that's really put the Red Bull off. He's dropped quite far back behind. But he's catching up to Gil, but he's got them blue flags flashing at him, so he's going to get a penalty sooner rather than later. Yeah, thanks for understanding, Ale. Or Ale. I don't know. Tell me how to say your name. Is it option 1, Ale, or option 2, Ale? Crockett's still not pitted, so he's staying out to the end. Let's have a look at a nice little battle. Yes. Oh no, that's not a battle. This is 18 plus F1. Michelizi's in the wall. Oh my goodness, this is a battle going on for 8th position right now between PMP Louis, Ginger 2121 and Michelizi. PMP Louis takes a time penalty for cutting that there. Ginger's currently right up behind him. Michelizi's dropping back from this battle just because of that damage that he's sustained from being put in the wall. Contact made with him, and Ginger's yellow flags in sector 2. Pluizen has a 10-second time penalty for cutting the corner. I think him and Alanvor have had a running into. I have no clue what's gone on there. as Plewison is out at this Grand Prix. Virtual safety car comes out. I have no clue what he did there. Did he straight line him? Did he do a one-ting? Okay, thank you, Ali. Was he so much a minus? Yeah, he was so much a minus. I have to show this to Tim. So the virtual safety car comes out, and that would have been an incentive for Crockett to pit, but he hasn't done so, so he's definitely trying to go to the end. PMP Lou takes another time penalty for too many warnings. 29 laps on intermediate tyres. They've got to puncture at some point, but it's so difficult to overtake on this track that you just can't. You simply cannot overtake on this track, especially in the wets. So it's a strong strategy to do a zero stopper. A zero stop strategy as Plewison leaves the session. Flip-flop fish has gotten quite far ahead of these guys. I will be back in just one moment, thank you. Thank you for your patience. I'm back and now up the inside at the Novel chicane, trying to overtake a Crockett gamer who's not made a stop in this race. Is Chapelele, who was leading but now he's pitted, and he's been on these tyres for about 8 laps. We have just about 7 laps to go in this Grand Prix. IGK Gill managed to get past the runner of Crockett gamer. I'm going to report something for a moment, so... And Chapelele putting it in the wall, it seems, through there, locking up heavily, and he's left the session. Oh, that's unfortunate for him. He's got a strong gap back to Yost though, so he still could have this. As now simply gets past Jordan. I think Jordan was spun around there. Polino's retired from the session in the pits. He's in 12th position, you know, anything can happen, but I guess not. It's unlikely that anything would happen in the rest of the race. Micheletti still with a damaged wing, I believe. No, he's actually got it repaired, it looks like. Trying to get past Ginger, who's sustained a pretty heavy amount of wing damage. Should be an easy move. No. Can't get past him through mirror, but he's trying to force his way up the inside. Now into the hairpin. Is he going to send it? No, that's pretty audacious move. Actually, you know, he's still missing a bit of his wing. Geordie lurking in the shadows, trying to catch up to them. Maybe hoping that they can get involved in an incident. But he's taken a lot of time penalties, I've seen at the bottom there. But that is soon to be found out at the end of the Grand Prix with about 5 laps remaining. It is IGK Giel leading by 4 seconds ahead of Crockett Gamer, whose tyres must be crying. Oh, there I can see just the sheer difference in pace between Timon and Crockett. 10 lap old inters compared to 33 lap old intermediates. This would be a stretchy corner and a half. You can even see on his tyres that they are completely destroyed. There's almost no treading on them. They're almost slick tyres at this point. They actually look like slicks. That's crazy. But now up the outside into Tabak. He should have hitted when he could have. Crockett Game has been overtaken by VRT Timon. Moving into second place is the Racing Point. So whilst Alan Vore can't take any points this Grand Prix after his incident with Pluisenball, Polino's left the session. So 5 retirements in this Grand Prix. Pluisen, Bjorn, Terra Racer and Blue Racer, and Polino Bros double DNF for McLaren. Not good for their points haul. And this could invite Mercedes to catch up to them, but of course Bjorn being a Mercedes driver too. There's yellow flags in sector 2. Read message above. You missed a puncture. Who got a puncture? Crockett? Has Crockett got a puncture? Yeah, he's fitted new tyres. I didn't notice that he got a puncture. Okay, thank you. But I am just speaking with Caesar at the moment about something that's happened. Commentators do miss stuff sometimes, as Michelitz's rejoined the session. Chapelele's been overtaken by Joost and Simply. So in order this, in Joost being completely off the pace today, he's managed to take a podium, but of course penalties may be a factor. I'm not sure how many Giel, Timon or Joost have taken. But I didn't notice that actually Crockett got a puncture. That's why he's fitted new tyres, so that strategy was just not going to work. I've been receiving a couple comments. I was speaking to someone on my phone, yeah. I was speaking to Caesar on my phone about something that happened in the race. Ginger takes a time penalty, so I'm not going to help him. A lot of time penalties have come out this race. I don't think anyone has had a time penalty-less race, and I'd be surprised if anyone did, to be honest. Just about to start lap 37. It's been a long race in my opinion, and it's not been the most exciting. My clock has died. Wow, my clock's not moving anymore. Brilliant. This is the tier 1 race, Christoph. And I'd be surprised because you're racing in tier 2, so you would have known, but no, I know you're joking. It's been a pretty chaotic race. But honestly, like 2 VSCs and a 1 safety car in Monaco isn't actually that bad. I think like 4 out of the 5 out of the 6. Okay, it's like 4 out of the 6 retirements have been purely in the pit lane. Someone having enough and coming in. No, what race did you talk about? This race. It was this race. It was something that happened in this race. I won't tell you. I won't tell anything about it, but I'm sure you'll hear about it in the stewards. And now Ginger's retired from the session. He might have gone in the wall at the back, which is where Gil has just crossed through. See if we can catch it on Timon. He's lost the car and he's bottled it. And so almost only 10 retirements. Both Ferraris, after being pretty much plumb last, are now in 9th place and 10th place. Yeah, it was a crash. It was an incident between two drivers. So it wasn't on the stream, but I saw it on the mini-map. And I was like, oh, what's happened here? So yeah, you'll hear about it in the stewards. Definitely. Lap 38 has just begun. 2 laps remain, and Gil, against all odds, I didn't think he was going to win this race. I thought it was going to be Chapelele. He dominated this race from the very start, but then he put it in the wall, I think. Oh, so you do know about it? Yeah. Yeah, I saw my mini-map. It was pretty hefty. Hefty incident. But oh well, as we continue on lap number 38. No real battles going on track right now, but Crockett Game has caught up to the ghost of Chapelele, who's left the session in frustration. He was leading for so long, but then he put it in the wall somewhere, and that was his race done and dusted. PMP Louis getting into the danger zone at the moment, but he should be okay to go to the end, but his tyres will definitely be in a pretty bad condition. Yeah, I know that, yeah. Simply though is still within touching distance of a podium taken away from Joost. So still a Williams is going to be on the podium as now we start the final lap of the Grand Prix. Hello Pupitar, welcome in. No, it doesn't matter, you don't have to, Christoph. Hello, oh it's Libnall, hello Libnall. Simply losing the back end ever so slightly. It's a me, jag lever. Where's Gil right now? Gil is just coming through the Noble chicane. He's taking it easy on the final lap, trying to just secure the win. And this will help him in his battle for the championship, trying to close the gap by about 10 points from this race. So it'll be about 10.5, no, 13.5 back from Gil if it stays, back from Joost if it stays like this. Is now through the final corner. Comes IGK Gil on 31 lap old intermediate tides. He's going to cross the line to take the win provisionally, whereas Timon's lost a little bit of time to Gil. Is he going to take the win? No, but he closes the gap. That could be a sign of a lot of penalties, but also Joost did have a lot of penalties from what I saw. Now he's going to cross the line and is simply going to take the podium. Yes, he will. So Joost out of the podium positions. And that brings the gap even closer between Gil and Joost. As Crockett's going to cross the line, he takes a 5-second time penalty for an unserved penalty. As now Chapelele's ghost comes home in P6, and Jordan not with a good race today. Also to finish the race in P7. Should be promoted to P6 though because of Chapelele leaving the session. 7th place for Jordan. And Louis is the next one to finish. And Flip-Flopper's retired. Okay. But he should stay in 10th place. So that means the last 2 drivers to cross the line will be Louis in P8 and Geordie in P9. But is he going to take position 8? No, he's not. That is the race over. It's been a long one today. Never mind, my clock is not broken. It's just a little bit slow. Don't know why it's that. Probably running out of batteries, it seems. Thank you all for watching the Grand Prix. We're going to have a look at the podium. The Frenchman stands on top of the podium for the first time in a while. He's not had the best of luck, has Gil. But He's back winning again, as this brings down the championship standings at the top, bringing us back into a true championship fight. As what circuit do we have next? Next we are going to Belgium, one of my, I think it is my favourite track out of all of them, so that's going to be a fun one. As now here is the finishing order. IGK Giel winning the race, Timon in second place, Simply goes in third place, fourth for Yost, and then fifth for Crockett Gamer. The Ghost of Chapelele with no penalties goes sixth place, and Jordan in seventh. Then PMP Louis goes eighth place, and Geordie in ninth. Then Flip Flop retiring on the last lap, taking 10th place. Michalizzi, no points for him. Neither did Nexus Aspect or the Ghost of Recon, who was on pole, but then he lost the car after his wheel broke. And then your retirements today are Ginger Allen, Polino Pluizen, Bjorn, Terror, and Blue Racer. Thank you all for watching this race. I've been me, you've been you. Have a good rest of your evening.